Live, Some Casual Takes, episode 57, hosted by your boy, Steven Pepper, here to casually talk sports. This episode is brought to you by no one because no one knows who we are. I'm here today with Kieran, your bum,
Cooking.
common guest. Kieran, ready to talk some ball. We're not talking Steelers, though, so anything you had in mind for the Steelers, we're not talking about. Kenny pick mid. We got Jaden back, hoodie Jaden in the building. Bro thinks he's Mars with the hood up. Got Jaden,
I
and
just
then
haven't
we got
gotten a haircut.
Lucky, who's driving. We don't condone podcast and driving on this channel. He'll be home in 5 minutes.
So one-time exception.
I haven't seen Lucky on here in a while. Lucky's making his return. How are you guys doing today, bro? It's Monday, August 21st. School starts soon. I know Jaden's 12, so he probably got his crayons and back to school stuff.
Be listening to Kieran all day.
Kieran told me he goes back next week. Jaden, you in school, bro?
Yeah, I'm going into school in October.
October? Ooh.
Nah, I'm playing. I just been telling people that, so they've been surprised. I'm going back in September, like in the middle of September, my senior year.
School starts mad late, bro.
I got senior year too.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, you're like pushing 30, buddy.
It's going to senior citizen.
It's like Chris Paul.
You know, people 30. Think I'm like 12 on the app, but anyway.
You're like Ben Roethlisberger in his last year, buddy.
You just can't move.
Wow. You're old. This is my last show at my fine house before I move back into school. I moved back Wednesday. So for like the next couple of months, the backdrops are going to be at my on-campus house. So there we go. Topics we have today. Yes, that's the house. Topics we have today, USA versus Germany. That is a game that I want to talk about. Got a little Jets Super Bowl expectations. And, of course, all the quarterbacks that we're anticipating that are making all the noise in preseason, minus Kenny Pickett and Daniel Jones. We're going to talk about those guys. But first, I want to talk about the USA versus Germany. This is the only basketball thing we have to talk about today because it's mainly football dominant because we're close to football season. The tip is in. It's not fully in, but the tip is into football season. Pause. Okay, US versus Germany. We played yesterday. I actually watched the game. I didn't want to be a basketball casual. I actually turned into the exhibition game, first one I ever watched. And man, was it a classic. USA won 99-91 over Germany. It was a little scary. It was a little scary. I thought we were cooked. I thought if we lost this game, gold medal chances cooked. We suck. We're led by Brandon Ingram. That's why we suck. But Anthony Edwards saved. We rallied from 16-point second-half deficit to beat Germany. 18-0 run in the final minutes, which was crazy. Also, Tyrese Halliburton added 16 as well. Team USA finishes 5-0 in exhibition games before the World Cup. So those were just exhibition games, not the actual World Cup in the Philippines. Bro, all I got to say about this game is Anthony Edwards is him. 34 points, 11 for 20 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. I didn't know he had a shot like that. Very MJ-esque. Is Anthony Edwards MJ's son? Is it like confirmed? Is he MJ's long-lost son? He kind of looks like him. You saw the fadeaway hit in the fourth quarter, bro.
Yeah, I did.
He might just be MJ, actually.
He might be MJ.
He might
Steve Kerr said that Anthony Edwards is unquestionably the guy. And a lot of people like Kendrick Perkins are calling for Anthony Edwards now as the face of the NBA. So.
Okay, see, now that's what we get a little.
I'm just saying, if you take air attacks into it, Anthony Edwards is better than Michael Jordan.
He's closer to MJ than he is to Jimmy Butler, if we're really being real.
Yeah, game for game wise, probably. Because Michael Jordan isn't low post foul baiting, pump faking on smaller defenders.
You sure about that? We can look up the tape.
Oh, okay. What did you guys like from seeing Anthony Edwards? I'm growing as an Anthony Edwards fan. I was kind of like turned off from Anthony Edwards before because his Twitter fan base is just the top 3 Glazers of all time. Ant's World, Ant Twitter. But what did you guys like from Anthony Edwards' game? 34 points?
I was never high on Ant in his rookie year. I thought I thought he was just always gonna stay like that way for the rest of his career, but as he progresses, he's getting way better. I know he was a number 1 overall pick, but like I never thought he would be like this good because like I was never that high on him. But I'm glad in Team USA he's playing very well. Maybe like I would like to see him become a better defender and passer, but he's still like he's a great scorer, which is good. So
You see that dunk he had?
yeah,
Literally no dribble dunk, caught it, dunked. I think he dunked on Tice.
It was
I
a
didn't think Tice
vertical
could play
poster.
basketball. I don't know where Tice went, but he dunked on Tice. Pretty hot. Jaden, what's your thoughts on Anthony Edwards? Where do you think he ranks like right now currently? And does this change your expectations for Anthony Edwards going into next season? Are we seeing another leap in Edwards' career?
I think that Anthony Edwards, some people have been overrating him quite a bit. I don't think he's in the top 20 yet, but I think he's in the top 25 to 30-ish range as we speak. Like Kieran said, I think he needs to grow on as a defender and a playmaker. He's a very inconsistent playmaker. But yeah, he's a good scorer, great shot creator, whatnot. I like how he can get to the rim in free will. I just feel like the fact that he can get to the rim in free will, I think he has to use that advantage to be a better playmaker. Later on, I could see him averaging around, like I think next year, I think he'll take a 26 point per game jump. Then I think he'll be top 20, but that's just a projection.
I think
You see him going 26 points per game next year? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think he'll go 26 points per game next
how
year.
old is he? Like 22, 21?
I think he came in at 19.
I think he's 20. Let me check.
Like
He should be 22, pushing 23.
Casual. Like Anthony Edwards has like some of the dumbest fan base.
Yeah, that's why.
It's because he has top 5 aura in the game.
Like I really don't want to say this because like I really like Anthony Edwards now, but he's becoming one of the most overrated players in the NBA. Like
it's just his fan base. I mean, I want to do this next pod, maybe like just rank NBA players' aura because that's all they talk about on Twitter, and I think that might be a top 3 blazing pod.
The best aura in the NBA is Shea.
According to his fans, yes, because I see more Shea fashion highlights than his actual play on Twitter.
Anthony Edwards is 22 years old. So
no, the most annoying thing about Anthony Edwards fans, they think he's better than Shea, which is like pisses me off.
It's off of one playoff series too, where he went against a mediocre defense.
Oh, Shea hasn't even been to the playoffs yet. Well, he has, but he
hasn't been in a playoff in his.
I mean,
that wasn't a playoff game. That was a play-in game when they played each other.
I mean, in the Pelicans, he was great. The Wolves,
Shea was mid.
The Wolves showed that you can't always spam drive to the rim and always have it work. That's why Shea has some limitations in this game because sometimes he doesn't have a jump shot outside the rim. He needs to take more of a jump shot outside the rim, actually, because he does have a jump shot, but still. But yeah, on Shea, I still think he clears Anthony Edwards as of now. I think he's like top 15, but some people do overrate Shea as well. And I feel like it's mainly a projection thing for Shea. I know he's averaging 31 so far, but like I feel like we have to get a little more seasons from him. Like he doesn't even have to average 31. Like if he averages like 26 next season or even 27, he'll still be a great player in my eyes. But for now, I still think he's only top 15. The highest I can see him is like number 14 or 13.
Well, to my accolades, merchant ability, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is all NBA first team, so that means he's like top 5 easily in the league. But wait, go ahead, Kieran, then we can move on.
I was just gonna say, like, I think people like my one problem with Shea. I think people overrate his defense a lot. Like, he's like okay.
He's like above average, that decent defender.
He's like okay to above average. People think he's like this elite defender because like of his deflections and his freaking steals, but they've never watched like Shea in his life on defense, like ever.
I want to go back to Anthony Edwards in a second, but I want to highlight some other players, starting with the best player on the best team in the world. Talking about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, bro. He is going from an unknown. Actually, I knew who he was, but to most people, he was an unknown, undrafted white kid out of Oklahoma, and he's growing to star right in front of our very eyes. Bro.
Overrating him. Let's go. We're overrating.
Look at him in
Let's
Team
go.
USA. He's first of all, he's coming off an elite playoff run. I think he had like 7 20-point games. I think he had 21 points a game against Denver. He was the third leading scorer. He was excellent in the playoffs and an elite shooter. And then in Team USA, his momentum is still carrying. He's 11 points per game, which is third on the team in the 5 games in Team USA. 60% from the field. That's also second on the team. 57.1 from 3. That is first on the team. That is elite shooting. And only 16 minutes per game. That's 7th on the team. So he's top 3 in like every scoring category, but he's not even top 5 in minutes. And he's closing games. Your Knicks dude, Jalen Brunson, Austin Reeves is closing games, not Jalen Brunson. These is facts. Austin Reeves is closing games over Brandon Ingram. He's hitting big-time shots. It's crazy, bro. This might be like the LeBron James effect, bro. You get what I'm saying?
It might be the Carmelo Anthony effect where he only tries in USA games.
Well, Austin Reeves is literally the worst player in Team USA that's actually playing. Jalen Brunson.
Josh Hart exists. Bobby Portis scored a bucket. There's like 5.
Josh Hart. Let's see. I mean,
he's better than Cam Johnson. He's better than Bobby Portis. He's better than Josh Hart.
Cam Johnson
Walker Kessler? I don't think I've ever seen him play yet.
Walker Kessler's better.
Austin Reeves is better than Walker Kessler.
Okay, what about the Josh Hart thing though?
He's better than Josh Hart. Stop.
No. I think we got to do a deep dive.
No, we're not doing this. Nope.
Josh Hart is better than
Austin Reeves. Bro, Austin Reeves is that typical white boy that gets like unnecessary praise.
No, but
bro. I want to put this
now.
out.
I got Lucky in the building. We got a Lakers fan in the building. Austin Reeves is earning the praise, bro. I thought the Austin Reeves glaze at first was kind of crazy, especially that stretch where he was shooting like 10 free throws a game when LeBron was hurt and it was just Anthony Davis leading the Lakers to the playoffs. Bro, what he's doing in Team USA, he's getting and-ones. He's shooting at a high clip. He's closing games when NBA All-Stars aren't. Austin Reeves is now earning the – bro, Austin Reeves is a star now, bro.
No.
I just wanted to point this out.
Not USA.
Look, I just wanted to point this out.
Bro, he was 21 points in the game against Denver, bro.
I just wanted to point this out to praise my Knicks. People have been comparing him to Emmanuel Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly's still better.
Austin Reeves is better than Quickly, bro. Stop.
No, he's
Austin
not.
Reeves is better than Quickly.
He's not better than
Quickly. Hey, Casual, You know what's funny with the Austin Reeves take, actually? Since the All-Star break, he was averaging 18 a game on 50, 40, 90. So,
bro, Austin Reeves is growing in front of our eyes. Like, this is some insane stuff we're seeing from Austin Reeves. People are going to hate, but when he averages 15-plus next season on great splits, bro, he's going to do it. He's going to be the third leading scorer for the Lakers. He's going to be better than Vincent. He's going to be better than the other guys.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Vincent, I'm so moved.
And when he has 20 points in the NBA Finals next season, they're going to be like, okay, yeah. And when he gets some Finals MVP votes, you're going to be like, okay.
You're getting bounced out by the Rockets with Albertson.
Getting bounced out by Walker Kessler and John Collins next year in the first round.
Manuel Quickly has been averaging 21 since All-Star break on 40% from 3. It's Von Yadelet. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, you know who averaged 21 against the eventual champs? Austin Reeves. I also want to highlight another player who it's only exhibition games, but kind of concerned though, no? Brandon Ingram, 7.8 points a game, 42.2% from the field in 19 minutes.
He'll be fine.
Nah, 42%.
Doesn't look like the star. I mean, he was supposed to be, when I think he was on the team,
well,
arguably the best player on the team. A lot of people were saying going into it, Brandon Ingram was the man of the team, and it's not really looking like it.
He'll be fine. I think last year USA basketball, I forget what star it was, but like he was struggling as well. He'll be fine.
I'll say this. I think Brandon Ingram is going to be fine. It's just what I've been watching. I just feel like he hasn't been aggressive enough. That's it. He's still a great shot creator. His shots just aren't falling in as much. He just isn't as aggressive. That's it. I think he'll still be fine, though. Brandon Ingram going to the Knicks soon.
The playmaking
is aggressive. AR-15, bro.
The actual AR-15 is Anthony Richardson, but anyway.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about rookie quarterbacks out later in the show, but I want to get into a would you rather. I love doing these when I have people on the show. These are click TikTok baiting segments, so I love doing these. So we're going to do, like I said, we're going to talk about Anthony Edwards later. Let's talk about Anthony Edwards in further detail. Would you rather Anthony Edwards? I'll give you guys some names. Guys who I feel like are kind of like hovering. These aren't like obvious ones. Guys who are hovering. I think if you were to do a list near Anthony Edwards' career. So let's start with Mr. Fat Suit, James Harden.
That's a close one. That's a really good
one.
one.
I actually think that's close, but for now, I'll pick James Harden. Anthony Edwards needs to grow as a playmaker, like I said. James Harden, he's still a good shot creator. I just think he has a lot of limitations in his game, but what really separates them is the playmaking. So I'll go with James Harden, but I actually think it's close.
I've been lower on James Harden recently, but I still have to go with James Harden.
Yeah, I'll pick James Harden.
I'll go James Harden too, but I think next season is going to be Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I agree.
But this isn't a projection. All right. This is going to be probably the closest one to get a lot of people talking. Brandon Ingram.
Anthony Edwards.
I'll take Ingram.
I'm taking Brandon Ingram just once again due to the playmaking gap. Two very good shot creators. I'm pretty sure Brandon Ingram is actually more efficient. I'm picking Brandon Ingram because of the playmaking.
I think Ingram's like arguably a better shot creator.
Okay, wait. Yeah. Though, like we can't just talk about offense.
Yeah, but like Ant's not that good defender yet to like make that a huge gap for me.
I think he's a solid like 6, maybe 5 out of 10 defender. 6 out of 10 defender.
I mean, he's actually a really good rim protector for a guard, though. I mean, like
I actually agree. I think
he's a good rim protector for a guard. I agree.
I think Brandon Ingram is better due to the playmaking gap that he has so far.
In 2 years, Ant's gonna be like.
Is Brandon Ingram really that great of a playmaker? I mean,
he's not that great of a no, but Brandon Ingram was an underrated playmaker. But watch,
I think so. For me, I think Brandon Ingram's a great passer. I think he's a great passer.
And that great passing.
He's a good playmaker, but I think his passing is better than his playmaking.
His great passing makes him into a good playmaker, in my opinion, because I think his elite shot creation can draw a lot of players towards him. And I think he's great at threading at the floor, being able to, go in transition and always do it skip pass or find a man in the corner or in the wing and whatnot. That's what I think about Brandon Ingram.
Let me hit you with this stat. Players with 5 or more 30-point playoff games before turning 22, LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, that's the list. Give me the dude who just dropped 34 games to save Team USA's legacy instead of the bum who's averaging 7 points per game.
Yeah.
Next guy, Jamal Murray.
Ooh, Ant. I'm picking Ant again.
I'll pick Jamal Murray on this one.
I don't listen. I don't hate I hate shitting on Jamal Murray, but he's so overrated. I'm gonna go Ant slightly, just very slightly.
Well, Kieran, I mean, like to add on to what you said, I mean, like people are trying to commit. Like people are saying that Jamal Murray is like a top 5 point guard. But, like,
I know
that's cap. He isn't even better than my boy Jalen Brunson. He's like borderline top 10 point guard though, like for real.
Yeah, like I'll say top 10, but like he hasn't even passed like De'Aaron Fox yet. Like how are we gonna
I
say?
agree.
I don't like sometimes taking number 2s and dudes benefiting off others' gravities over clear number 1s who are doing almost the exact same thing on different situations. I think it's close.
I mean, they're both great playoff performers, so
I'm gonna just say Ant because he's the number 1 of that team. But man, Jamal Murray, bro.
Jalen Green or Jamal Murray.
You get better efficiency from Jamal Murray, though.
I picked Jamal Murray.
I think you get better efficiency. You probably get better playmaking from Jamal Murray.
That's what I'm saying. Is like Anthony Edwards.
I don't think but for me, it's like I don't think like I think Jamal's like a very he's a good play. I'm not high on his playmaking. It's good. But I don't know.
I picked Jamal.
10 assists in the NBA Finals, bro.
I picked Jamal. Mainly,
those are cherry pick Russell Westbrook-esque. I'm not gonna lie.
I picked Jamal only because he does have less limitations in his game, and I feel like he can work without the ball a lot better than Anthony Edwards. Because sometimes Anthony Edwards stays idle at the wing sometimes, and that's what I don't like about Anthony Edwards. But I'll pick Jamal Murray, but I think that's will be Ant.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about off ball, I mean, I think Ant's a better cutter than Jamal Murray.
No, I think he is a better cutter, but like in terms of like movement, shooting or whatnot, I think Anthony Edwards struggles with that a little bit. He kind of stays idle at the wing, is what I'm trying to say.
All right, let's move on to the next player. Bam Adebayo.
Bam.
No discussion?
No, I'm sorry. It's Bam defense, and Bam Adebayo is still a very.
He's still a better passer.
He's a good he's a good
You hear that from me?
Bro, you're pushing 30 and still voice cracking. This is crazy.
Bam. It's still Bam though, so no discussion.
Okay.
I use Bam's defense more than anything else Ant does on the floor.
Exactly, I agree, and he's still a good playmaker for his size.
And he's a scorer as well. He's a bad scorer at all.
He's easily the second best passing big man in the league.
No, I think he's third. I think or second.
Paul George.
Paul George. When healthy, Paul George.
It's still Paul George.
I still believe it's Paul George.
Paul George is just way too like inconsistent for me, especially in like the playoffs. I can't do it.
That ironic for Ant is crazy.
Listen, like I think Paul George gets underrated in the playoffs. I thought like the last time he was there, he was pretty good.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah.
I mean, I want to say PG. That's fine. I mean, I think it's close, but I'm just taking Ant.
I'm picking Paul George when he's healthy because once again, I feel like Paul George can move.
I still think PG's a better defender too.
Yeah, I still think he's a better defender too.
Well, I'll say that
PG offers more on the basketball court, slightly more than Paul George, especially his two-way ability. Although I don't think Paul George is all NBA for team defense like he used to be, but.
Well, I mean, that'd be a hot take, but I like PG when he's the number one option instead of Kawhi. I don't know. Like I feel like PG has to be a number one for a team to like do anything. He can't be.
He almost went to the Knicks, bro. I actually wanted him.
PG did, bro. It's so funny how you say that because PG literally said he's a number two on his podcast.
Yeah, but he's never done it.
Yo, Paul George, one day you got to get up on this podcast.
I mean,
this cap. I want to be on Jeff Teague's podcast. It's funny.
Jeff Teague.
Yeah, I like Jeff Teague's. Yeah.
Okay, last three. Pascal Siakam.
Ant. I'm going Ant.
It's a very odd comparison, but I'll go Siakam.
I actually will go Ant on this one. It's close, but I'll pick Ant.
I'll go Siakam. I like Siakam a lot.
It's pretty close. I lean towards Ant.
Okay. Knicks fan. Jalen Brunson.
I don't know.
Okay. Realistically,
I'm going Ant. I don't know.
I'll pick Brunson. I'll
slightly go Brunson.
I pick Brunson due to the fact that I really like how good of a shot creator that he is. He can pretty much work on everything from the floor, and I think he isn't as limited as Ant is a limited playmaker compared to Jalen Brunson, who I'm not saying is a great playmaker, but I think he's a better playmaker than Ant. And I also feel like I trust Jalen Brunson to be more. I like Jalen Brunson because he is more resilient against playoff defenses than Anthony Edwards is. Because him against the Cavs, him against Miami, that's what I'm talking about.
Last guy, another dude who is going off in Team USA, Tyrese Halliburton.
Ant.
Yeah, I'm going Ant. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's that close, but Halliburton's a better playmaker.
Halliburton has to not be a Rondo merchant a little bit. So.
No, Halliburton's still a really good playmaker. I just feel like some people are overrated.
It's yeah, I'm over exaggerating it, but
I know.
John Stockton merchant.
Is Tyrese Halliburton even like a top 5 playmaker in the league?
No. I don't think he's top 10. I think he's top 15, not top 10.
He's like borderline top 10.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. That was the Would You Rather. I think we said James Harden's better. I think Ant and Brandon Ingram, we had a little discussion.
Ingram, Brunson.
I think Lucky said he picked Jamal Murray.
I picked
over.
Jamal.
It was Jaden.
I
That wasn't bad.
I picked Jamal.
PG and Bam cleared apparently. Siakam, I'd probably take. Ooh, dude, I literally think they're like the same.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
like if I was like a 2K dev, I would probably have them same overall at the end of the day.
No, like for me, that's the most random one.
I threw it in there because I knew it was gonna be so random. Like who's comparing Ant and Siakam?
I mean, it's close, bro. I did this in my TikTok live. Like I was doing the tier list, and they were like, "Ant is way better than Siakam." Like,
I don't think he's way better. I mean, I can see the argument. I just don't think
Siakam's underrated.
Siakam only does spin moves though. So if you want to call him a spin move merchant,
he's still a really good shot
He
creator.
also has hilariously small hands.
Yeah, she does.
All right. All the football people left, but hopefully they all come back because it's time to talk football now. Let's start with the Jets. Let's talk with. I haven't think I talked Jets on here in a while, and I want to kind of get your guys' opinions on the Jets. So I think there's a little echo. I don't know who it's from.
I think it's Lucky.
Is it me?
It might be.
Speak. I think it's Lucky. Yeah.
You have to drop out real quick or what?
Yeah, just drop out and come back. All right. So Aaron Rodgers is expected to make his preseason debut against the New York Poopy Giants, per sources.
They play them this year.
The New York gonna miss the playoffs.
Yeah, we play them this year. The Giants are gonna beat them. The Giants are gonna beat the Cowboys out of the division.
Oh my. Okay, mute Jaden. Okay, but Aaron Rodgers had a sit-down interview over the weekend talking about his future with the Jets. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was like, some people were asking him, is this a 1-year thing? Is this a 1-year stay with the Jets? Like, what is his future with the Jets? And Aaron Rodgers said, why limit to one? I don't plan on this being one and done. Yeah, I still hear the echo, bro.
No way.
Yeah.
Just stay muted until you talk or something.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers saying the Jets thing isn't a one and done. He also randomly just glazed Zach Wilson humbly, said Zach Wilson's going to have the Jets for 15 years, which I literally bursted out laughing when he said that. He's like, when I'm done with the Jets, I'm going to hand it off for Zach Wilson for the next 15 years. I just started crying.
Zach Wilson.
I was like, does he know? Does he know?
Zach Wilson, Darko Milicic of the NFL.
The MILF under Zach Wilson.
Oh. Well,
we can't hear you.
Even
we we can't hear you.
I smacked my mute button on my mic, so I'm going to restate what I said. What are your expectations for the New York Jets this season? I mean, especially now adding Dalvin Cook to a Breece Hall backfield, and Rodgers saying he's not one and done with the Jets. Great defense. The Super Bowl, this win division. Like, what are our expectations?
I think the Jets are actually going to win their division, going 12-5. I think they have the potential to be the best defense in the NFL. With studs like Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, they have a great secondary as well. I just believe their O-line is a little bit questionable, very questionable actually.
Very.
But I think they're going to be a really good passing offense, and I think Garrett Wilson is going to be a top 10 wide receiver in 2023.
So which week does Aaron Rodgers get benched for Zach Wilson, and then Zach Wilson goes on an amazing Super Bowl
Week 17.
So
when Aaron Rodgers rests after he wins
Week 18, actually, sorry.
So I don't know if you guys were watching last year, but the Jets last year, they had a top 5 defense with one of the worst passing offenses in the league. If they don't have Zach Wilson, you add Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. And I understand the O-line is a very big concern, but if you know anything about Aaron Rodgers, he's like Tom Brady where he makes his O-line so much better. He's going to get the ball out quick. He's not a deep ball merchant like I think a lot of people think he is, or a highlight reel merchant. He gets the ball out quick a lot, so they won't take a lot of sacks. And honestly, they were 7-4 last year with bad quarterback play. If Aaron Rodgers is even close to like 2021 Rodgers, this team is going to be one of the best teams in the AFC. I have them as the 3rd seed right now. They have the best defense in the NFL on paper, in my opinion. So
I have them 4th. So
I have them. I have the Jets like 5 or 6 seed. I think they can easily win the division because, like you just said, well, I mean, they ended the season like 7-10 or whatever. But at the time before Breece Hall went down, they were what, like 7-4.
Yeah.
They did all this with having probably the worst QB room in the last like 10 years. Zach Wilson, Mike White, Joe Flacco, like
they Ryan Fitzpatrick too for a little.
Ryan Shriver or something. Chris
like yeah,
Shriver.
that quarterback room is terrible. And even though they only beat like bad teams, they only beat mid teams. When they did play good teams, good offenses, the defense was so good that they barely allowed like over. I don't think they allowed over 30 points like at all last season. They were that good.
Yeah,
you add Aaron Rodgers to that team, that's an additional touchdown automatically. Like Aaron Rodgers is what, a plus touchdown over Zach Wilson easily. Now you put Dalvin Cook on this team, a year or two, Wilson, like add some other guys to deepen that wide receiver unit. Yeah, I think the expectations should be Super Bowl. Like, I don't think you add Aaron Rodgers to – I mean, the expectation at first should probably be win the division, but
yeah,
you don't
believe
add
that.
Aaron Rodgers to just, go like 9-8. Like, no, the expectation should be Super Bowl.
My thing is that I don't even think we've seen this Jets defense at its full potential because Sauce was a rookie last year. Quinn Williams just had a breakout season. Like, these guys are just entering their prime, like, on the defensive side of the ball. So, like, for everyone saying that the Jets defense is going to fall off, like, think again. And, like, I think Garrett Wilson, like, from a statistical standpoint, could be a top 5 receiver next year.
The reason I don't think so. I think more top 10. But the reason why I don't have him winning the division is just because I feel like those first couple games, maybe there's an adjustment with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe the offensive line cost them some games. Their schedule is also brutal, by the way. I mean, you have Bills twice, Bill Belichick twice. I mean, in Miami twice. And their strength of schedule is really tough. And I think with an adjustment, they still make the playoffs, though. I think this team is too good, plus Aaron Rodgers, not to make the playoffs. I just don't think they win the division. I think Buffalo gets them by a game just because they're more established and they've already played with each other. But I did watch the Bills-Steelers preseason game. I did watch your mid-team.
They look bad.
Bills look terrible, bro.
Go watch the Giants and
Josh Allen looked terrible.
Bills look terrible.
And, like, listen, I don't want to say this about the Bills, but, like, people are going to overrate their defense on paper. That defense is old and injury prone.
Yeah, that's why
it is super old.
That's why I believe they missed out on the division winner, because that defense is very injury prone.
You got Micah Hyde, who's 33 and injury prone. You got Jordan Poyer, who's 32. You got Tre'Davious White, who's almost 29. And you know when, like, corners get close to 30, they fall off a cliff. Von Miller is 34 and ancient.
Already tore his ACL.
Matt Milano's almost 30. Like, they have a lot of old players on that defense.
Yeah, that's why I believe they lose out the division.
It's still a great defense on paper. But are they going to be healthy by the end of the season?
I don't be surprised if they actually miss the playoffs, honestly. I actually believe that.
I wouldn't say that just because they have Josh Allen. So
yeah, I mean, as long as they have Allen, Diggs, I just can't.
Oh yeah, that's Stephon Diggs thing too, because he's also old. Stephon Diggs is actually a crybaby, and Gabe Davis isn't good. And Dawson.
They did have some offseason drama with Stephon Diggs, but I just will say that just that team, I might have to drop the Jets and make them the division winner now, to be honest. But going back to the Jets, though, when it comes to the Super Bowl, is that like something far, or is that just a little unrealistic?
I mean, it can go far. I think I have them going to a divisional round, but let's see.
So my thing is, it depends who they play, really. I think if they avoid the Chiefs, like, let's say, which is probably not going to happen, because Chiefs are always good. But, like, because, like, if you know anything about the playoffs, anything can happen. So there's going to be a time where the Chiefs, like, just don't make it to the conference championship game. It could be this year.
Because how many conference championships are they in a row? Like 5?
Yeah. I mean,
they're on the Houston Astros, like 6 conference championships in a row type stuff.
I think Brady, you know what's crazy? I think Brady, like, he made it to like 7 in a row, I think. So
from when? 2014?
I think it was like 2011. It was 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. So 8 in a row.
The Jaguars were the last team to make the conference championship with the Chiefs not in it. It was the Jags and the Patriots. Yeah.
That's a weird.
Well, let's see if the Jets can do it. Aaron Rodgers debuting week 3, which is this coming week in the preseason.
Yeah, Giants own that bum.
When Dexter comes down the middle, just sacks Aaron Rodgers.
I think this is Aaron Rodgers' first preseason game in so long.
Yeah,
When Kayvon Thibodeau just comes off the edge unsacked, and Aaron Rodgers breaks a thumb.
It's not even in his athletic peak, man. He's not going to escape the pocket as well as he did a couple years ago. Wow.
Let's talk about the dude who is supposed to be Aaron Rodgers' successor real quick, because I haven't talked Jordan Love at all on this pod, and everyone's talking about him. Jordan Love in the preseason so far, 124.7 passer rating, pretty good. 130 yards on 12 of 18 attempts, which is, if you don't know, you can't do the math mentally if you're a little slow. 7.2, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it. 7.2 completion percentage per completion, yards per completion, and 66% throwing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. A lot of pressure is on this kid, Jordan Love. He's in his 4th year, but never started. Are you confident in a successful first year starting for Jordan Love?
I believe that the Packers go 8-9 with him, and I think he does actually a solid job. But his receiving core is obviously pretty bad. So I think he'll learn very well under Aaron Rodgers, though. I think he'll be a top 20 quarterback in 2023.
I think my thing about Jordan Love is that the only question I have with him is his mechanics, really. I think he's pretty good going through reads, but his mechanics are so wonky that I'm a little questioned about that. But if he's under Aaron Rodgers, I think we're gonna see a season from Jordan Love like Aaron Rodgers, first season as a starter, but worse, a little bit worse.
Yes.
So I think they're gonna be in the playoff race, but they're gonna be a wild card. So
I know that he's only played 2 preseason games this year. He played 1 or 2 games, 3 games starting as a quarterback. I think he played the Chiefs a year or so ago. He played the Eagles last year. I think it was the Eagles. He hasn't played much games in the NFL, so we don't have a crazy amount of tape. But am I weird for saying bro, I haven't seen that much wow from Jordan Love?
Yeah, he had a couple good throws against the Eagles. But in the Chiefs game, he was absolutely terrible. He sucked.
Was that his first game starting?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it could have been the last game in 2020. I think so.
Yeah, I just
yeah, it was.
He's a pretty good thrower, but I had yet to see a wow, this kid is up next. But I mean, did we see much wow from Aaron Rodgers when he first started? I think he was 6-10 his first year starting.
We saw the flashes.
We saw flat. I don't see many I think my projection for Jordan Love, this is a projection, by the way. I see a quarterback who is going to be good. I don't think he's going to be ass, but I don't think he will ever get in those high quarterback ranks. Because I think if you want to be in those high quarterback ranks, you need to be dynamic. I just don't see much dynamic from Jordan Love.
So you just mean a game manager?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't consider Kirk Cousins much of a game. I think Kirk Cousins is a tier above game manager. All right, game managers game managers Brock Purdy, dude. And I think Kirk Cousins is a tier above Brock Purdy.
Yeah, he's the definition.
I think Jordan Love can get into a Kirk Cousins, Tannehill, pretty good, okay, pocket passer. But I'm excited though. I'm not one of those guys who are oh, this dude's trash. He's gonna be trash. I always have optimism whenever I say, dude, it's gonna be okay. But I'm not seeing a lot of wow. This is just amazing throw. Only 3 people can make this throw, or that escapability is insane. I don't see much from Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's probably just going to be especially first year, Just snap the ball, easy throws, just get the job done.
We're gonna see
And also,
a lot
I don't see this team being a dark horse playoff team like a lot of other people believe. I think Jordan Love's going to struggle this year. And if Aaron Rodgers can't take that receiving group to the playoffs, Jordan Love's not. Sorry.
Well,
especially when the NFC North got better. Like,
Aaron
Vikings
Rodgers
are still the Vikings.
I
they still have
think,
Jetta. Bears got better than last year. The Bears are no longer Mickey. I mean, I think they're a step above Mickey win
still
now.
suck.
And the Lions got better. So if Rodgers can't be above 500 and make the playoffs with that receiving group in a weaker NFC North, I don't think first year starting Love's going to.
I think my thing about the Packers though, they definitely have the best defense in the division, and I think their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
Their defense did look pretty good against the Packers. I mean, not Packers, Patriots preseason game.
I
think I saw a strip fumble on Mac Jones. Like it didn't look bad.
I mean, the one thing that kills them is like their secondary, and I know Jair Alexander's back there, but they got killed last year in the secondary. Their pass rush is actually pretty good. So
I believe that the Packers defense just needs to stay healthy. If they actually want to make like a wild card 7th, maybe 60 type of push, but I feel like their defense might get a little hurt. Like Rashawn Gary, like he's been hurt for a little bit. So I mean, like Frank Clark as well. I think.
Also, Quay Walker sucks.
Yeah, Quay Walker was the guy who sold him the game for the Lions.
That dude is so ass.
We can move on. Let's move on to another quarterback in the preseason. I know me and Kieran, we talked about this kid. I say kid like he's like 3 years older than me. He's still a kid in perfect experience in the NFL, relative to experience. We talked about Trey Lance last pod. You were on with me, Kieran. And let's talk about him more that we got Jaden up here. So on Saturday, 49ers quarterback Trey Lance led a game-winning drive in a 21-20 win against the Denver Broncos. Let's ride. He went 12 of 18 on 173 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. However, Trey Lance was taking third-string reps. He was the third quarterback to play for the Niners. He took reps behind Sam Darnold. Hearing a lot of reports that he's barely even beating Darnold in camp. This is not looking good for a dude who was starting week 1 last year, and now he's taking third-string reps behind like a disappointing. We knew who we were going to get, Sam Darnold. So, like, what's y'all consensus on Trey Lance now as a quarterback? Not just as a quarterback, but his fit in San Francisco. Bro, third-string reps is bad. When I saw Trey Lance finally get in the 4th quarter, I was like, dude, it's over. Like, it's actually over.
All right. Trey Lance sucks. He just sucks. He's just not good. He doesn't show. He has great physical gifts, and that's it. His mechanics are awful. He can't, like, when his first read is not there, he's terrible. He has no accuracy. His pocket presence, which is probably the best thing for him, is still not that great. There's nothing that Trey Lance does that makes me believe he's going to be a starter. There's nothing.
Darnold looked better than him.
Third stringers.
I know Darnold had the same touchdown interception ratio, but Darnold's interception was just a great ball that was dropped by the wide receiver and it got tipped up in the air and it was intercepted. Darnold's looking better than Trey Lance in camp and in preseason. Bro, third string reps, first round pick.
Can I say this about Darnold? I understand that Sam Darnold sucked in like New York and Carolina, but like people understand, like people have to understand, like Sam Darnold has had like some of the worst development coaches. Like he's had Todd Bowles, he's had Adam Gase, and he's had Matt Rule.
Remember that? Sorry to cut you off, but remember that Linsanity Sam Darnold first 3 games the Panthers had 2 years ago when their Panthers were 3-0 and they looked, and Sam Darnold looked like a top 10 QB in the league, and then Dallas came and it was just over.
Yeah, no, it's just like I don't know. I've never been like high on Sam Darnold, but like his situations have been pretty bad.
I mean, Sam Darnold almost took them to the playoffs last year. If only Tom Brady didn't exist, they would have won the division.
Darnold didn't look terrible last year when he played.
I don't think he looked terrible. I don't think he's ass. I don't think Darnold's ass.
I mean,
some people.
I mean, this is his stats in 6 games: 7 touchdowns, 3 picks, 93 passer rating on 8 yards per attempt. That's not bad. Like
that's not bad. Trey Lance probably. We expect Trey Lance to do that. And he's getting fourth quarter reps, turning the ball over to dudes who are probably going to get cut before the season starts.
Like, I'm sorry, Trey Lance is bad now. Like, I've been trying to defend him for so long. I just can't anymore. He's just bad.
No,
but
his arm talent is still there, man.
My thing on Trey Lance has always been this. I don't think he's as a quarterback a bust. Like, I don't think as a player he's yet on Jamarcus Russell level. I don't think he's dog water, like, as a quarterback. But, however, I will say the 49ers trading multiple first-round picks to select him at 3 is one of the biggest mistakes of recent memory. Like, the 49ers coaching staff and roster is so good that they were able to make 2 NFC championship appearances and even a Super Bowl with Jimmy G. And they actually later made another NFC championship with Brock Purdy, guys who aren't even top 15 quarterback talents. But they never won the big game. So, like, the idea out of San Francisco was they were a dynamic quarterback away from glory. So the Niners took a chance by trading up to draft Lance. But we all knew Lance was not an NFL-ready quarterback. He was a project out of some no-name school, and only it was a one-year starter. And the issue is that the 49ers has a roster who's in their peak years. Like, they're in their core skill position guys are in absolute win-now mode. They don't have time to wait 2 to 4 years on injuries and developments from their quarterback. And again, I'm not saying that Lance is cheeks, but this team, like, I know this sounds like it's in hindsight, but I was saying this at the time. The team was much better off using those same resources to get Jamar Chase. Or imagine their secondary with Patrick Surtain. Like, I think adding those instantly elite talents to the best roster in the game would make it pretty hard to lose a Super Bowl, even with a talent like Jimmy Garoppolo.
So I'm going to name these players that were drafted after Trey Lance. So here we go. Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons. Pretty good tight end when he's healthy. Jamar Chase. He's pretty good.
Jamar Chase, Debo, Ayuk. Probably the greatest big three ever.
Or this guy who would fit so well into his system, Jalen Waddle.
Best wide receiver core by far in football.
Or because one of their, like, I think their right tackle is a little questionable. They could have added Penei Sewell.
Plus Trent Williams.
And they need another corner. They could have either added J.C. Horn or Patrick Surtain.
Mm-hmm.
They could have added Devontae Smith. What do you think about this? Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa.
Don't forget
that might be the best defense of all time, low-key. Low-key, that might be, like, points per game, the best defense ever. Because last year, their points per game was looking historic. What they could do with Micah Parsons now on that edge.
They could have added other players like Tyson Campbell. Well, he was the second round, but I'm just saying, like, Rashawn Slater. But, like, I'm just saying, like, dude, like, you had the 3rd overall pick. There's so many talented players. I understand you needed a quarterback because Jimmy Garoppolo was just not cutting it. But you could have added more pieces. And, like, when Jimmy G is healthy, they just win games.
Yeah, but the thing, especially it just looked bad after the Super Bowl because Jimmy G, like, choked away that Super Bowl lead.
Yeah.
We all knew, like, the narrative out of San Francisco was they were a dynamic quarterback away from just easily winning the Lombardi. But I think now, I was even, like I said, like, and now it sounds like hindsight, but I was saying it then, like, bro, even with Jimmy G, who you don't trust to win that big game, bro, it's pretty freaking hard to lose a Super Bowl if you also have Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle. Or it's pretty hard to let Tyreek Hill just expose your secondary when you have Surtain, dude. Like, I don't know. Especially since 2020, I always felt like the 49ers' weakest part of their defense was by far their secondary. Surtain's in there, bro. Like, now it's a lock. No holes. Yeah. But, you just needed Trey Lance. I mean, out of all the quarterbacks too, bro, Trey Lance, Mac Jones coming off a national title, Justin Fields coming off a great college football playoff. Even though I don't think Justin Fields is the best player in the world, Justin Fields is better than Trey Lance. Yeah, and you took the dude from, like, North Dakota State. No one in their entire history in the world has ever stepped foot in North Dakota. No one knows where North Dakota is on the map. That's it, bro. Jaden, what's your thoughts on Trey Lance?
It's all Kyle Shanahan's fault. for not developing him the right way. Yeah, I understand that he's not looking great, but like that injury versus Seattle, he hasn't played football in a very long time. He still has the arm talent. He isn't accurate. His mechanics aren't good or whatnot, but I still believe he still has the talent. He's a very mobile quarterback. He's athletic. But I kind of blame this on Kyle Shanahan more than Trey Lance.
I kind of want, like, again, that's why I never said he was a bust, because again, like, the dude hasn't not played that many games. I just said drafting him was a mistake. But it's also like, bro, dude, if he was really like that, he wouldn't be losing his job to Sam Darnold.
Well, he's coming off of a nasty ankle injury, so
cool.
I don't, like, my thing is, I don't like labeling like quarterbacks bust after they haven't even played their third year. But Trey Lance is a bust, and part of it, it's not his fault. Part of it is because like he has been injured. He hasn't gotten a lot of reps. At the same time, your third overall pick, like at least this point, you're supposed to be improving, and he's just not. He's just not.
You should at least have this, like, again, if you're trying to say like, oh, Brock Purdy's better, that's fine. But I've been hearing reports that Brock Purdy was beating him out in camp before he even started. And they only started him because he was taken in the draft.
Wait, doesn't Brock Purdy have like 10 interceptions in training camp?
No, but this was last year, like before Trey Lance started. They were saying that Brock Purdy was wowing in camp and rivaling Trey Lance, but the only reason why Trey Lance started mostly was because of his draft position. And, you know, Brock Purdy, I think, was like undrafted or drafted in like the 7th round.
Like, my thing is, I'm not sure if like I don't want to say this, but like I think when Trey Lance was there, I said that I said the Niners are going to go 9-8 because like they're super talented. They're just quarterback, not mechanically ready to be an NFL quarterback. I don't think they get to the NFC Championship game with Trey Lance. I don't.
They would with Kenny Pickett.
Unironically, they would.
They would go to the NFC Championship with Daniel Jones, if anything, bro.
And there's no chance. And it's unfortunately there's no now. Again, it's not maybe because of Trey Lance is bad, but like it's also like circumstantial. Like, unfortunately for him, bro, Kyle Shanahan said it's pretty much Brock Purdy's job. Like he said, quote, like Purdy has to like melt in practice for him to lose the starting job. So it's probably just over.
He's been melting a little bit. Hey, he's been melting a little bit.
I heard the interception report. I don't buy into interceptions in practice. I don't buy in. If I don't see interceptions in game, I want to see interceptions in games, not practice, bro. That's just me. Last topic. Let's talk about some rookie preseason quarterbacks. It's the rookies again, other than my guy, Anthony Richardson. I wish he would have played. I wanted to see more tape, but he didn't play. It's okay. The other guys did play, though. Especially Stroud and Bryce Young. I want to see, first of all, I want to get my takeoff on these guys, and I want to see if you guys agree. I don't know if I said this on a TikTok live yet or anything, but I want to see if you guys agree with this. Like, everyone is talking about which rookie quarterback will have the best first season, but I'm not going to lie with you guys. I think it's very likely that just none of these guys impress this year. Like we've seen in recent years, rookies like Mac Jones make the Pro Bowl or Justin Herbert win Offensive Rookie of the Year over a talent like Justin Jefferson. But I don't see any of these guys doing this, bro. And this is not. I'm a Colts fan, so I wish all the goodness in the world for AR. And this is not me saying that these new rookies are bust material. Like, hell no. I see franchise material in a lot of these guys. However, I lack confidence in these rookies because, one, none of these guys were generational prospects to me, like a Luck or a Lawrence or even a Joe Burrow. And two, they're all on crappy offenses. Like, these guys are averaging, 2 yards per pass in the preseason, not because they lack arm talent. Some of these guys have amazing arm talent. It's because their receiving core is like absolutely below mid. It's god awful, actually. And their offensive line somehow made it to the NFL without knowing how to block.
Michael Pittman, Adam Thielen, and
Chenault, Mingo. Ugh, I can't even tell you the Texans receivers is that bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like these offenses are bad.
They're bad.
They are bad.
It has nothing to do with how I see a lot. I see a lot of great from Young. I see pocket presence from Young. I see improvisation from. I see running upside from AR. I still see accuracy from Stroud. It's just, bro, their offenses are bad. I don't see any of these guys succeeding rookie year. Like
Depends.
offensive rookie of the year, I wouldn't bet any of these quarterbacks.
Like,
I would.
who has the best offensive situation out of all the rookies right now? And
Probably
I'm
AR.
like probably AR, and it's not that great.
Yeah,
At least Pittman and
Anthony
Jonathan
Richardson.
Taylor is better than whatever they have. Miles Sanders isn't going to be terrible, but like again,
Miles Sanders is good.
He's good, but he's just going to be.
What is it? Terrence Marshall and Thielen.
A lot of unproven guys and like old fucking veterans. Like
when your wide receiver
Jonathan Mingo,
75 overall, probably in Madden, like that's a red
when
flag.
your wide receiver core is like literally human corpse.
And they have DJ Chark and Jonathan Mingo too. Don't forget about
DJ
that.
Chark. I don't know what happened to that dude. That dude is bad now.
He had an insanity year, and we all kind of just like, yeah. Then he went to Detroit,
and he just got hurt a lot. He just
got hurt a lot. I'm pretty sure. That's why I dropped him in my fantasy league.
But like you see, these guys are averaging what, like 2 yards a pass. I think they're all like 3-4 yards a pass. They can't have time to throw because their offensive lines are garbage. And their wide receivers, they can't push the ball down the field because they don't have push the ball down the field receivers.
Is Michael Pittman really the best wide receiver for like the rookies right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Pittman's like a wide receiver number 2.
No, he's not bad.
He's a wide receiver 2, bro.
He would be really good as a wide receiver
1.
The funny thing is, the Texas' best like receivers, Tank Dell.
Oh yeah, Tank Dell. He might be a kick returner.
Who is Stroud throwing to, bro?
All right, so he's got. You want to hear this receiving core?
I really don't, because all I'm just gonna hear is like garbage getting riled in the trash.
They're like 65 overall.
So they have Nico Collins, who is in his 3rd year, who is terrible.
You're listing bronze players, but keep going. They
have Robert Woods, who is almost like on the brink of retirement.
Washed.
John Mechie the third, who has not played yet, a promising player. He just hasn't played. Like he hasn't played anything.
That was from Alabama, right?
Yeah,
he was. John Mechie. He just
was cancer.
He was sick. I remember that.
He has no injury concerns. He just had
he just got cancer. I think John Mechie will actually be the wide receiver.
He could be that's the guy who I think could be good.
Yeah, that's it. But hopefully he is good because he does have some really good upside.
Alec Pierce, your wide receiver number 2. Yikes!
Literally Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp 2.0 incoming. Need that season.
Tank Dell is actually their best wide receiver.
No, the funny thing is, he just reminds me of Cooper Kupp for some reason.
But he's not as good. He's just not as good.
Not because he's white, but like the way.
I don't think he has better hands than Cooper Kupp. I don't think he's just not as good. I don't think he's a better route runner than Cooper Kupp.
He's really.
I don't think he can open like Cooper Kupp, dude. I get some of it's system, like some of it's just being in Sean McVay's offense, but I don't think he's like Cooper Kupp like at all.
No, I'm talking about play style.
Oh, yeah, I just don't think he's as good, like nearly. Hey, when the Rams make this bounce back season of 6-10, we back.
They're gonna be one of the worst teams in the league.
I think they'll go like 3-14. That's good enough for them.
Kupp's gonna carry a bunch of fantasy teams, and they only get 3 wins.
Cooper Kupp, I haven't been drafting him because I feel like his workload's gonna be too high.
Yeah, Steven, did you say the Colts were gonna win the division last year? Because that's what I did. I said they're going to 1-6.
I have the Colts at 7.
Well, that wasn't even me being Colts biased because I just didn't see that huge leap from the Jags. I saw the Jags being better, but I didn't see the Jags being like a 9-10 win team. I saw the Colts winning one more game over the Titans. I saw the Colts and Titans like almost splitting the division. I was just like, man, as Matt Ryan's last ride. I saw what we did with Phillip Rivers 2 years prior, and I was like, okay, we can probably do this with Matt Ryan. And then the fact that Jonathan Taylor last year, with Carson Wentz, the Colts literally had the playoffs locked up, and then we just choked at the end of the season. Like we were a playoff team the 2 years prior. And then I was like, okay, we saw what we did with Phillip Rivers, incoming Matt Ryan, same situation, playoff team. Jonathan Taylor was like one of the best offensive players in the league. We still had Quentin Nelson, Guys come back. I thought we could be like a 10-win team, win the division. Of course, we look like I don't even talk about it, dude.
No. My thing is, I didn't expect the O-line to be that bad. I
didn't either.
I didn't expect Matt Ryan to be atrocious. I did
Dude,
not expect that because
the worst
the year before he was a solid game manager. So
when you posted, I can't wait for you to do because you posted the top 10 best playoff games minus Super Bowls. If you were to ever do top 10 just worst football games in the last like 10 years, just all football games entirely, that Colts Broncos game that I wasted my Thursday night watching. As a Colts, not just a Colts fan, just as a football fan, I just wanted to give up on the sport. I was like, is basketball on? Because that was the worst game I've ever seen. Ever. And we won that game, by the way, too.
Yeah, and I remember after the game, Matt Ryan was so hyped up. I was like, dude, how could you be hyped up for this? You guys played terrible on offense. The defense did its job.
Yeah, the issue with so there was issues with the Colts. Obviously, the offensive line. I thought the offensive line, because you know that stretch from like Quentin Nelson gets drafted to like 2021, the Colts had one of the best offensive lines in the league. It was really good, and Jonathan Taylor looked really good behind it. So I was like, okay, Matt Ryan behind this offensive line. We saw what Rivers did. We saw what Wentz did. We can be like a 10-win team. Frank Wright's still an okay coach. All this was wrong. The offensive line was shit. So, like, Jonathan Taylor didn't look as good. And since Matt Ryan has, like, -10 escapability, it was the worst situation for him. And now that the Colts, with their offensive line, need Anthony Richardson, a dude who can, like, balance out the pocket when that pocket collapses. Matt Ryan just can't do that, like, at all. That's why we were so bad.
Do you want to hear these stats for the Colts Broncos game?
I don't want to hear Matt Ryan go 20 of 40. I know he probably went like 12 of 30, 173 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick, probably some.
Okay, so he went 26 of 41 for 251 yards, 2 interceptions, a passer rate of 60, and a QBR of 16.8, and Russ was worse.
Hey buddy, pull up Kenny Pickett's touchdown interception ratio last year. Hey, pull that up, buddy.
Russ was 21 of 39, 274 yards, 2 interceptions, a QBR of 15.4, and a passer rating of 54.9.
Average Daniel Jones game next season.
Average Colin Kaepernick game after 13.
All right. Well, that's all of our topics for today, guys. Nice little hour pod. I don't know where Lucky went because technology just sucks for him. Missed out on a great day today. Well, thank you to Kieran. Thank you for Jaden for popping on. These are one of the only guys I know who can actually talk football. Everyone else I hit up that because everyone I have on my TikTok is from, I guess, all my mutuals, as they say it on that app.
Mutuals.
They know basketball, but when I ask them to talk football, they're like, bro, I just watched football yesterday, or like, I don't watch football anymore.
I mean, Matty Ice, he watches football, but
he started school, bro.
Yeah, he just started school.
It's over with. I can't
Wait,
get
what? In August? Like, isn't he in high school?
Yeah, he started. He had class today, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, but thank you to all my listeners live on Twitch who listen actually live on Twitch. And thank you to all the listeners who are listening when this gets uploaded to YouTube. Follow all the social medias to be updated on all things related to the show. Some casual takes on all platforms. Next show will be Friday at my new crib. Show schedule is probably going to change. I don't have class on Friday because I'm just moving in, so I'll probably be at 12:30. I got to figure out my schedule for this podcast when I'm in school because it's going to be bad. With all my homework, I'm just going to do random fire-ups. But it's okay. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for my guys for coming on and talking. Make sure you follow the channel. And until Friday, everyone have a blessed week.
See ya,
boys.
Yeah.